We are ready for Varney Lake. So we have new game. Jimmy, summer 1954. Christine, truth or dare? The question takes you by surprise. I don't know why you ask him, say Doug. He always makes the same choice. Dare, obviously. Jimmy, dare. What did I tell you, huh? Hey, Oddie, welcome back. And we're playing the second installment of Pixel Pulp's series called Varney Lake, which is... Yeah, well, I don't want to ruin the surprise, so I'll keep it quiet. However, this is the second one, and I do have the other two games as well. And I think we should keep going on this series because we like Mothman a lot, so I really want to venture more into their games. Alright, with that said, as hard as it is to admit, Doug is right. Dare always was the easy option for you. Christine bites her lip. Let's see. I know. You're going to try Doug's new game. Huh? Wouldn't you rather make me eat a beetle? I remember what happened with that kid that ate that, like... It was a slug. It ate that slug. Basically paralyzed him. Yeah, he was paralyzed from the like neck down. Fuck that. Or do I headstand on an ant nest? Yeah, you two laugh. You'll need me later to learn new tricks. Christine taps you on the shoulder. What's funny, this one's set in the daytime because it's all got yellows and whites. Yeah, like the Mothman was always like teal, wasn't it? Yeah, like teal, like bluey, huey blue, and dark. So they obviously completely different type of lighting. You look at her and she smiles at you. You can't think of anything to say. You feel like every step you don't open your mouth is another missed opportunity. And you know what? And you know that when you go to sleep and run the conversation in your head, thousands of things you could have said to her will come to you. Are we in love with her or something already?
I'm guessing so, yeah.
Oh, we got feelings. Happened a few times. One guy went into a coma for 8 years and then died. Jesus Christ. Yeah, kids don't eat, don't do. If you think something sounds stupid, just don't do it. You just don't. You think you hear someone whistling. Oh, are you imagining things now? You're still bothered about yesterday. Why didn't you wait for Doug and Christine to all arrive? Why did you want to prove? You try to think of something else. Like your mum says, what's done is done. You clear your throat. Dear listeners, yeah, fuck yeah. We formally kick off a new summer in Varney Lake. Is this like the kind of storyteller that, you know, Stand By Me? They got the Will Wheaton character, and he's like the storyteller. That's like Stephen King's character, right? Maybe that's what they're inspired by, that kind of summer vibe. Yeah. Doug claps his hands and Christine Wolf whistles. Christine Wolf. Christine is a year and 10 months older. But when you do the radio host voice, you don't feel the age gap as much. She's Doug's cousin, and this is the 4th summer you've spent together. She lives with just her mum. Her dad died in the Korean War. Doug is a few months younger than you. He's still 12, but turns 13 in a few weeks. He never knew his father, and his mother is Christine's aunt. Christine, Doug, you are only children. And what had started as a joke ended up formalizing into an idea of a club. Yeah, it's very Stand By Me, isn't it? A little bit. Yep. So make yourself comfortable. You pause and point to Doug and Christine. The all-new adventure of the Only Child Club are about to begin. The club has been Doug's idea, but it was Christine who suggested trying to raise the money to buy the old Varney Lake Drive-In Theatre. They say you can see strange lights at night. Christine makes a noise with her mouth. Who say? Doug doesn't answer. It wouldn't be the headlights of ghost cars, would it? You laugh. Doug takes a deep breath and shakes his head from side to side. People died in that fire. Real people. Can't you see his face, Jimmy? He's fucking with you. Doug laughs and makes some faces at you. You let out a laugh and threaten to punch him in the stomach. You get to the old what's that? Sycamore tree.
Yeah, where that asshole chainsawed like the
Oh, that Sidmore. Oh yeah, that gap tree. Yeah. Yeah, and try to erase the memory of the time when you chickened out of kissing Christine. We're not gonna chicken out this time, are we, Josh? We're gonna definitely choose those options.
Oh yeah.
Jimmy, the dare. Remember that stupid rhyme like, Christine Jimmy sitting in a tree, Kissing. Remember all that shit, Oddy? It had all the started 2 summers ago. Doug had shown you a book he was obsessed with. He wouldn't tell you wherever he found it. The book provided lots of valuable information on games played with cards, matchsticks, dice. That tin can we kept the money in, isn't it going to be a big enough, right? Doug opened his backpack, takes out a deck of cards and hands it to you. In the last few years, you three have raised enough money to get your hopes up. Remember what we promised. Christine tucks her hair behind her ear. Before the youngest member of the club turns 18. Doug beats his chest. That would be me. We'll buy the drive-in. The solitaire game, oh fucking not solitaire again, I invented is going to make us so much money. It's called Solitaire 10. You'll see why. We didn't give a shit about Solitaire the first time we played this in the Mothman. Why did he keep bringing this up? The idea is to start from the card you turn over and try to add cards to get 10. 10, but isn't the jack worth 11? Yes, the jack is 11, queen 12, and king 13. So, Doug pauses before revealing the key to his creation. Depending on the color of the card you turn over, cards you choose from the board will either add or subtract the total. Try it as you might, you find it hard to follow Doug's instructions. Doug seems to realize this and signals you to wait. If the first card is red, red cards will add to the total and black cards will subtract. And if it's black, black cards will be the ones that add and red cards are the ones that subtract, okay?
Do you have to know this?
I don't want to learn card games. And what happens if you can't reach 10? You turn over a new card and continue with that one. Christine remains silent. She seems to be about to say something, but in the end she doesn't. And get this. Doug can't hide his excitement. If you reach 10 using all of the 10 cards available, you shout Super 10 and win outright. Doug taps you on the shoulder. You make a Super 10 and I give you a dare. I'd rather just like truth or dare. We do dare. We end up kissing Christine. That's what we want to happen, really. Well, just get started. If you run out of cards to turn over and can't make 10, we count the cards in the pot and that's your final score. Oh, fucking hell. You can't focus on the game. Josh, you handled that exactly the way you need to handle that type of shit.
It's not mandatory. So
Nah, it's not mandatory. We don't give a fuck about crappy card games. Cousin, now what? I never told Josh to do that, by the way. That was funny.
Yeah, we just want a story.
We just want to, yeah, we don't care about Solitaire 10. Christine seems to enjoy the situation. There's an easy way to make a Super 10. We don't give a fuck about Super 10. No? How? Christine starts to explain something, but you stop paying attention. He's whistling in grass. You hear a whistling sound that makes your gut clench. You see Brandon in the distance and your heart starts to race. Oh, is this the Ace? The Ace character from Stand By Me.
Ace Merrill, is it?
You son of a whore. Is his name Ace Merrill?
Yeah, Ace Merrill.
I remember calling my sister a son of a whore because I watched Stand By Me. I didn't really know what I meant. I said, Tash, you're such a son of a whore. And I remember my sister grasped on me and my mum put like soap in my mouth. That is a true story.
That's great.
They are looking for you.
Look at the size of this guy.
Oh my god, Jimmy, you can't knock him out. Look at that neck. It's like,
Yeah,
wow.
his jaw.
I fucked up. These are the frat boys. Doug and Christine suddenly shut up. What do you mean you fucked up? Jimmy. You point to a spot on the horizon and your voice cracks. It's just that Brandon. You pause and try to sound more confident. Yesterday we played dice and I fleeced him. Oh no, he's out for blood. Christine taps you on the shoulder and Doug throws his head in his hands. Fucking hell. They're going to kill us. I like how there's cursing in these games. That was quite good.
Right.
Shh. Come on. Come over here. And get down. Christine is almost 2 years older than you. But there are times when you feel even younger next to her. Oh, what's going on? There's a spaceship above us. You walk non-stop more than half an hour. If Brandon doesn't kill us, the heat will.
You're just on the sun.
Maybe. Oh, it's a sun. It made it look like a spaceship. Am I the only one that would think that? Answers down below. You look at Doug. The cream he uses is invisible, but it's got a strong smell. You've gotten used to it, but it still hits your nostrils from time to time. It is true what his mother says. Doug is the only boy who knows allergic to the sun. Oh, fucking hell, what an absolute pussy.
Fucking part albino or something.
Part albino, yeah. I can't believe you didn't wait for us yesterday. Brandon wanted a rematch. I didn't think he'd figure out Doug's trick. You thought. That's your problem. You think too much. You keep quiet and look straight ahead. You can't bring yourself to hold Christine's gaze. Sorry to interrupt you, but we've reached a river. Little River is one of the main tributaries of Varney Lake. I've never really heard that word before. Is it safe? You take a deep breath and cross the bridge at full speed. The distance makes you feel better, because even though you like her, Christine intimidates you. Come on, Doug. Don't be a pussy. Doug looks at Christine and Christine points to the bridge. Your turn. Doug starts to cross. A board moves and he lets out a scream. Oh, Doug is a pussy. Christine laughs. It's beautiful, but it makes you feel hollow. And that hollowness reminds you that Christine's been dating a boy from her hometown for several years. Ouch! How old is she? She's like 7, 8 when she started.
Like 12, 13.
Fucking hell. Too what, she's definitely a walking, talking red flag then, isn't she? And that, I know she's obviously when we're young though. And that when the summer is over, she'll be back with him. Yeah, but right now that don't mean anything. It's like holding hands is like the biggest thing they're probably getting up to at this stage. Over there, see? Jimmy's gonna have to man the hell up and win her love. Yes. What is it? No freaking idea. Should we go see? Christine nods and Doug shrugs. You've never been to this part of the Varney Lake before. How far have we walked already? Not far enough yet. Brandon is... Christine seems to be looking for the right word. Bitter. A son of a bitch, you think. You walk faster to try and keep some thoughts out of your head. Christine follows close behind you and Doug... Oh, it looks like some sort of...
Farmhouse.
Yeah, some old farmhouse with a... Wow. A new headquarters for the club. Gets my vote. Is it abandoned? Let's go and see. You all run to the entrance of the mill with a surprising energy. Although the door is open, the stench of confinement is intense. There's a guy in there. Oh, wow. There's a vampire in there. Old man, the sun. Can I speak like that, Josh, or is it a bit camp?
Your voice is going to be hoarse after like 5
For a few seconds, no one says anything. Doug seems to remember something and starts going through his backpack. My mum bought this allergy cream for me. The sun. Something about the man's desperation moves you. You grab Doug's hand and shake your head. You think of your grandfather. The day he died, you had read him a letter from your grandmother. When you finished, and you thought he had fallen asleep, you got up carefully and walked to the door. But he was not asleep. Whispering, he asked you to close all the curtains. It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Half an hour later, you found him dead in his bed. And you could swear he was smiling. Aw. He doesn't need any cream, Doug. He just wants a little darkness. The sun is coming in through 2 different windows. He's actually got caught up there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He must have been out hunting and went too far. Like that, you know that film, Catherine Bigelow directed it, Near Dark?
Oh,
When, like, he's, like, in the Jeep and he's got to run back in before, like, he burns alive. One high up, the other fought of broken glass. You think about asking Doug and Christine to stand in front of the lowest window. But it's full of glass and it looks dangerous. As for the higher window, there's no way to cover it without using some kind of tool. Blankets? You lift the blanket and shake it a little. Grab a long reed. Lean it against the higher window. Lean it against. You leave the blanket on the floor. You ask Doug and Christine for help and you lift the old pillow. Watch out for the glass. You move it closer to the window and gently rest it to block the light coming in from outside. Excellent. You think about asking Doug and Christine to stand in about okay.
okay, right.
Grab the blanket again. Grab the reed, grab the blanket. I think you got to combo the blanket with the reed.
Okay.
Something occurs to you. It's the same technique your mom used to remove cobwebs from high ceilings. Only she uses broom and an old rag. You put the blanket over the reed and lean the reed against the wall. You try to block the light coming through the window without success. You need another reed to stretch the blanket and cover more surface area. Grab another long reed. Use the second reed. You lean the second reed against the wall and tuck it under the blanket. Moving the 2 reeds carefully, you stretch the blanket to block all the light coming through the high window. Oh, he feels better now. He thinks it's holy water. Doug's canteen bounces off the walls and lands on the rubble with a thud. You're not even sure you saw the old man's lashing out. He moves at speed of light. And you wonder if your brain isn't filling in the blanks. Arg! You help the old man up. Who is he? And why is he dressed like that? You turn your head towards the door. Oh, fuck me. The old man raises his hand, his gaze fixed upon the animal. Oh, he could control animals.
Like mesmerised,
Yeah, they can mesmerize. It depends on what vampire you're talking about. Every film and book's got different kind of lore towards the vampire.
Yeah.
None of you move a muscle. You think of Brandon laughing about how he and his brothers used to kill rabbits. You have to point the flashlight at them. Yeah, they're like deer in headlights, aren't they?
Yeah.
They freeze like idiots. You approach slowly, and a good hit does the rest. Oh, Jesus Christ. But what followed was no hit at all. God, this vampire's a beast. He's taken down... He's taken a whole deer already. Look, his eyes gleaming as well.
Oh, it's getting that power.
Oh, now he's strong. Well, at least he drinks blood of animals and not like literally people all the time.
Yeah.
The body of the deer lay limp at the feet of the vampire. It's noon, and the same sun you blocked from the old mill shines with all its intensity over Varney Lake. Oh, fuck me, Josh.
That's a good evening. Not bad.
Mm. Lou.
Oh, is this Lou Refill Hill again?
Oh, Lou Refill Hill. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I do remember all these little names, Josh.
It's just a terrible name. It's easy.
Oh, it's got more of a like kind of like bluey kind of hue now. It's like kind of the other game. Lou Refill Hill, because he used to refill the drinks, wasn't it, so he could keep talking to you.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the fear you must have felt. Jimmy remained silent, staring at the same point behind your head. So there is like, I know they're intertwined a little bit, like a little connection, so I guess this is the connection from the Mothman game to this one. After his detailed account about the first encounter with the vampire, he seems somewhat changed. But you can't really say how. You look towards the door. Will she come in as promised? Jimmy sighs and looks down. What's he thinking about? He doesn't know about it, but you got your hands on the reports about his involvement of the Vietnam War through an acquaintance. Would you include any of that in your new book? Huh? You repeat the question one more time. No, not afraid. I didn't really know. We were kids. Oh, this is Jimmy.
Oh, yeah, he's all green up there.
You wait for him to say something else, but he seems lost in thought again. At least Jimmy survived. He might be a vampire though, no deal. Another coffee? Jimmy shakes his head and you don't insist. You think of your editor, of the words he said to you the last time you met. Your career wouldn't survive another failure. Jimmy settles back in his chair. You want to know what I'm afraid of, Lou? Did you ever forget a name? Is that the vampire at the back there? The director of a movie? This is like Interview with the Vampire now. Or an author of a book. When something like that happens to you, the mind becomes obsessed. It goes into a loop trying to remember the name even when you don't care anymore. The answers can appear at any moment. While you're watching TV, while you're washing the dishes. That stubbornness. That freedom of your mind to work behind the scenes. As if it were an independent entity. What's the limit, Lou? Does it have to end? You remain silent, feeling how the distance between you and Jimmy grows with each passing second. For you, the questions were never rhetorical. Was it? Rhetorical. And you know that there are not many people prepared to listen to the answers. There it is, raining. After talking on your phone, you had your doubts. But in the end, she came. Oh, this is the girl, isn't it? You had chosen this table so that Jimmy was sitting with his back to the door. You needed the surprise effect. Oh, Christine's back. Jimmy? Oh, she's gonna be like another witness. Christine? Time seems to stand still and neither of them moves. How long has it been? 27 years? Wow. What was that like? You noticed the way Jimmy seems to stumble over his words. I guess we're like what, in our early 40s?
Yeah, early mid-40s.
You know that love is nothing more than an adaptive trick to perpetrate the species. But as with any other magic trick, knowing there's a trick is not enough to escape its effects. Come, let's sit at the table. Jimmy, I can't believe it. Jimmy smiles and you look away. So we didn't get our love, Josh, did we? We failed, quite clearly. There's something about the gesture that makes you uncomfortable. As if the muscles in his face have forgotten what a smile looks like. I'm a little late, sorry. Don't worry about it. We've just started. You tell Christine what you're talking about with Jimmy. That day in the summer of 1954 when you met the vampire. Did you tell him about Doug, my cousin? Jimmy nods and starts drumming his fingers on the table. Why is he drumming his fingers on the table? Although you assume it's nervous gesture, Jimmy's fingers seem to be asking something of Christine. That summer was... I'm sorry. I thought I was ready. You lean forward and take a deep breath. You know you can't miss this opportunity. You tell them what you can about your new book. At first you find it hard to articulate some ideas. You're not selling a project to a publisher. Gradually you find your tone and you are aware of the effects your words have on both Jimmy and Christine. You even talk about the memory as a way of purging the present, at a point where you are feeling particularly poetical. But you know that memory can't be that, and much more. You don't feel comfortable. Why are you doing all this? Is what your editor thinks really so important? Your readers? Anyway, you had managed to spur a change. Gosh, she grew up to be hot. What a shame. And Christine seems determined to talk. You have to understand that we were kids. Kids. You find it interesting that Christine uses the same arguments as Jimmy. That the summer was just beginning. Wow, I miss that feeling. The days seemed to go on forever. And we could do anything. Oh, flashback time. I really like the way they kind of change colour as well. It's quite nice.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
What do you think the odds are? Look at it, you got like moving grass as well. It's quite nice in the wind. You like this feeling? Almost as if we were floating. And everything weighed a little less. You needed this. And you know your mum did too. I'd say the same odds as shuffling a deck of cards. And getting an order that's already been dealt. In the history of all mankind. Wait a minute. How? I read somewhere that if you shuffle a deck of 52 cards well, you shuffle it very well 4 or 5 times, like this, even though you're not looking at him, you can imagine Doug shuffling an invisible deck of cards. The odds of getting a card order someone already got are infinitely small. There's a slight breeze. You try to imagine what could have possibly configuration for you to see it. How small? It was like 1 in, I don't know, a huge number. I think it had like 67 zeros. Wow. Does a number that big even have a name? You can't help but smile. Jamie is nothing like your boyfriend. Oh, here we go. Oh, we're gonna see exactly how she feels about him. I like all this kind of stuff. Your boyfriend is taller, bigger, more self-confident. Well, what they say, Josh, about like women these days, that they need the 3 6s, don't they?
Yeah.
You got to have a 6-figure income. You got to be over 6 feet tall, and you need to be 6 downstairs. Shit, Oddie, that's my only viewer of my channel, has 0 of those, so he's never got a chance. I think we're going to see it. Neither one of them sees anything. But you know they're waiting for you to go on. Doug. Your little cousin. Hey! Making sure you're still there. Who has always idolized and feared you in equal measure? Jimmy. Doug's friend, who is now your friend too. And you always knew he liked you. Did Doug die, do you think? Mark my words.
Well, see, he hasn't showed up. I reckon he got like bit or
Do you reckon a vampire absolutely fucked poor Doug up?
or turned him, I reckon.
Yeah, possibly. Mark my words, this summer we're going to see Mount Rushmore in the sky. I don't know, cousin. 67 is a lot of zeros. The math is not important. It's enough that we've added it to the list. Doug pulls your journal out of your backpack and hands it to you. And you read all the summer bucket list with veneration?
Yep.
I've never heard veneration before. This is one of the club's oldest goals. Year after year, you aim to raise $100 to someday be able to buy the drive-in theatre. Last year, you had come close. And Jimmy thought all you needed was just a little more ruthlessness. Martin Felix Favre was the only one who ever caught one. Such a feat has earned him a picture on the wall of the Fisherman's Bar. There was a time where everyone wanted to catch another albino tarpon. But time went by and people started to distrust Martin's story. And the very existence of the albino tarpon. See Mount Rushmore in the clouds. Even though you understand the boys doubt you know they're looking at a problem in the wrong way. Finding shapes in the clouds speaks more about the people looking for them than the shapes themselves. The problem is to get the 3 of you to agree on what you're seeing. And when that moment comes, when all 3 of you agree that you're seeing the same thing, you will have reached the most precious moment of your friendship. Oh, there's a map. You look at the location. Eagle Hill sounds kind of cool.
Eagle Hill.
Eagle Hill is located southwest from the lake. The perfect place to feel close to the sky and find different shapes in the clouds. Eagle Hill was one of the spots that couples, older kids, used to meet up at night. Until the winter Barbara disappeared. Barbara lived year round at Varney Lake. Eagle Hill was the last place she'd been seen alive. Oh, I started connected to the vampire. And with Brandon, no less. After ruling out Brandon as a suspect, the police believed that Barbara had run away from Varney Lake. Well, this whole fucking lake, she might be swimming in the bottom of it. Rumour around town had it that she didn't get along with her parents at all. Felix had told you that before he was born, his parents had a daughter. A daughter who would now be like you if it weren't for a strange disease that had caused her death at a very young age. Maybe that's why Martin talked to you more than the rest. And maybe that's why he had told you the place where you should start looking for the albino tarpon.
I've never heard of like a tarpon.
What the fuck's a tarpon? Yeah.
Yeah, we know it's a fish, but I've never heard that one.
The general market is almost as old as the first settlement in Varney Lake. You can buy almost anything. From bread or butter to batteries or cigarettes. But even more important, the general market is surrounded by a concrete playground where the kids from Varney Lake hang out a lot. And that playground is the ideal place to play Doug's games. Shouldn't we mark the area the vampire told us about? Doug's right. What area was that? Did he say anything about a location? He didn't.
No.
Is this where he lives? His mansion or something? The old cobblestone road stretches for miles. No one knows when it was built. Or by whom. The vampire had told you to follow it to the end. And to wait until it was 7 o'clock in the evening. Jimmy looks at Doug. I told my mum I'm sleeping at your house tonight. Oh, we're gonna go down there.
So I get scared.
I told mine I'm sleeping at yours. Audie, you need to change your underwear. This stuff's gonna get real serious and scary. Their mothers are at each other's throats and not talking. It's the perfect alibi. What about you? Neither of them ask you anything. You know they do it out of respect. Your mum is usually so drunk at night that you don't have to make up an excuse to go out. Aw, poor Jimmy. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, that's funny, yeah.
Oh, we haven't even mentioned the art style. So far, the art style again is really good, as expected. You take a deep breath and get up. Summer is just beginning. And Varney Lake seems full of possibilities. Oh, let's have a look. Go fishing. Should we try and catch that fish? Or stay here and see Doug's surprise? I like Eagle Hill. Or Josh. What? Let's leave it up to Oddie, yeah? Let's let Oddie participate. Oddie, what do you say we do?
No, I've seen that and they wanted to get the white tarpon. That's one of their goals. So maybe like you for that.
True. Eagle Hill. That's what I was going to say. Great minds think alike.
Yep.
Do you remember when you asked how to play? Oh, don't. If you pull out a set of fucking cards, I'm going to be fuming. Jimmy becomes serious and you laugh. There aren't too many rules. Oh, no. When you think the clouds form something, you point to the sky and tell others. Oh, I like this. We got to use our perception to kind of, materialize some sort of image out of it. That's kind of cool. And we got to try and guess what they're all seeing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's going to be a mini game, obviously. Find shapes in the clouds. Point to a specific shape. Alright, pause it here for 2 seconds.
Yeah, I don't deserve me.
Alright, let's have a look. What are we looking at here?
You gotta find the Mount Rushmore.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, that's a rabbit.
Wait a second. Yeah, rabbit's head, look. Look, get ready, wait for it.
There you go.
Yes, I like this minigame, it's cool. Hopefully it gets really hard. The Mount Rushmore. Could it be possible with us? How do you even view Mount Rushmore? You know what I mean? You've got to see all these 4 faces.
It's too complex. There's no fucking way around.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Wouldn't it be better to look for shapes after the end of a storm? When the sky starts to clear. Find shapes in the clouds. Yeah, I want to do some more. Point to a specific shape in the clouds. Okay. It's a skull. I could tell already.
Yeah.
That's scary. Yes. I like this game. This game's good, actually.
Alright, so you have to wait for all to...
Come on, Mount Rushmore. That is fucking specific, though. It's a...
This is a heart.
It is right, Mount Rushmore. There's a face.
Malay?
Yeah, it is. Yes.
So what, do you just keep going till fucking...
I want to keep playing. Oh, we've done them all. That's the rabbit. Okay, exit. A fucking rabbit cloud showed up again. Yeah, just skip it. I don't play this game no more.
Right, well, maybe a bit of fish now.
Oh, it's nighttime. The vampire's out. It's when things get scary. What do you think that meant? I think it was clear. Especially after seeing how you were shaken in the mail. Huh? Yeah, right. Wasn't it you who let out a scream when he bit the deer, huh?
Don't give it, not like normal. Like this fucking
Yeah. It's not every day you see someone eat a deer, is it?
Yeah, you're terrified, aren't you?
Yeah. You're a little bored of listening to them fight. It's usually something you enjoy. But there are times when they seem childish. You think about your boyfriend. What is he doing right now? Does he miss you? Do you miss him? It's here. The end of the old road. I sharpened a twig with a razor. It might work as a stake. A twig? I bought a silver chain. For a few seconds, no one says anything. What time is it? You look at the clock. It's almost 7. Brandon didn't show up at all, did he? You don't think that? Doug suddenly goes quiet. Do you feel that? What is that noise? I can't make it out. You feel it too? A vibration. Some kind of electricity. Oh, is it the mill? No. What the fuck? Oh, that's awesome. It's invisible and a burning smell. Is it a furnace? What That just appear out of nowhere. Oh, so it was like a vanishing castle. That's kind of cool. Or a building.
Right.
Come here, come on. Jimmy still surprises you. A few minutes ago, he seemed... No worries. What word did you use? Childish. Now, you don't quite know what to think. What's going on in there? He's a raven, isn't he? What do you think? Shall we go in?
Well, we're not going to wait some more than that.
No.
Oh, I think we have to go in.
We've got to go in. We're nosy. You nod your head. The vampire just swipes 3 of our heads off in one go.
Yeah.
Jimmy takes a step forward, but Doug grabs him by the shoulder. Shouldn't we wait until we're invited? Well, we're not vampires, are we? So it doesn't matter for us.
Oh, here he is.
There he is. There's the man. His name was just Vampire. That's funny. I thought only my kind had to worry about that. Should I put a crappy voice on, Josh, or should I? Come with me.
If you can keep it going, yeah, that'd be amazing.
Does it add to the immersion of my horrible reading?
Absolutely.
You look at Doug. Doug looks at Jimmy. And Jimmy looks at you. Jimmy strides forward and forces you to take a few quick steps, so not to be left behind. Wow. Yes, wow. You feel small in there. You've never seen a house with such high ceilings. So that's why you can fly around as a bat. There was a time when everything was different. You have been greeted by my servants. Entertained until I decided to join you. What would you like to drink? Gonna pour like blood or something. Yeah, let's have a can of Coke. I'll have a soda. I don't think he's one to kind of have like sodas in this fridge, to be fair. It'd be like wine and stuff. Doug's eyes widen. Me too. Your cousin stays away from sugary drinks. Your cousin can't stay away from sugary drinks.
Well, you can't. Just do it.
Who can? I'm here drinking a pineapple monster. I've got to do what I got to do to get the stream going. What about a Bloody Mary? Oh, don't mention bloody. Oh, that's an awesome portrait.
He looks very, very sinister.
He looks absolutely sick. An awkward silence follows Jimmy's joke. Same as them then. Maybe there's some in the pantry. I'll be back in a minute. As soon as the door to the huge dining room closes, the 3 of you jump out of your chairs. How old is this furniture? I'm sure they're old enough to realize they shouldn't really be like knocking about with a vampire.
No, in the middle of the fucking...
In the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Who are all these people? They're obviously descendants of the vampire, I would imagine. Did you see the little bats on the chairs? Oh yeah, look. You see them in pixel form. That's quite cute.
Yeah.
None of you can contain your amazement. After all, you were in a vampire size. It reminds me of like Fright Night as well, where like Jerry Dandridge. He's not, he's smart enough not wanting to kill the next door neighbor's kid. So obviously makes him a deal. He's like, just forget about me, Charlie, and we'll all drop it. Because at the end of the day, if he kills Charlie, the police are going to be there and they're not going to find him. It's just going to cause a lot of trouble. He's smart enough, to kind of understand the situation.
Yeah.
So the idea of like a vampire befriending like people is actually really kind of a cool idea. Because can you imagine the stories they could tell you, like hundreds of year stories?
Oh,
Yeah, imagine having a friend as a vampire. If you can actually befriend one. I mean, they can even pull the hottest women for you. Have you seen the Fright Night beginning of that when he gets the hookers and stuff?
No,
They could mesmerize, they could seduce. It's like, you definitely want to be a vampire's friend. But then again, you're always going to have one eye open, aren't you? Thinking one day you might just want to off me. So there's that as well.
Yeah, but if you're that friendly, then
Yeah.
maybe less like
Yeah, but I think every woman wants to be bitten by Jerry Dandridge. I think every woman would want to be like his forever. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Guys, probably not so much unless you're like Stephen Jeffries, who plays Evil Ed. That might be your thing. But I think majority of us men don't like the idea.
Not really, no.
No. Doug lets out a hiss, and you can't help but laugh. I'm sure he's been thinking of vampire jokes all afternoon. Jimmy doesn't say anything, and your laughter doesn't last long. The silence is oppressive. You wonder if the walls of the dining room has ever heard the sound of people laughing. You unconsciously fondle with your bracelet. And you're thankful it's silver. The door opens and none of you say anything. Don't tell me this vampire has sodas in his fridge. You are lucky.
You wouldn't trust it, would you?
No. I found... Well, it might be like fucking The Lost Boys as well, where he drinks David's blood, you know. Michael gets seduced to kind of...
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
or pressure to drink it. I found carbonated beverages in one of the pantries.
Like one of the lamest things with the other vampire film with the crap ending, you get a blood transfusion and become human again.
Oh yeah, the whole blood transfusion. Yeah, that's the one thing I did not like about Near Dark. Everyone says Near Dark's one of the most underrated movies of all time, but
Terrible.
the whole, like, you could just have a blood transfusion and you're not a vampire anymore. It didn't really sit right with me.
No.
And it was done by a guy that just raises cattle. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Doug and Jimmy uncork their bottles. And they don't like what they hear. A faint hissing sound. Like a balloon quietly deflating. Did you see the bottle dating? A bottling date? You try to speak softly so the vampire won't hear you. I want to quote Goonies now. It's wet, innit? I love that line. The fucking water's brown.
Yes, brown.
One of the maids always said, soda never expires. Did he hear you? How? Oh, he's got like fucking supersonic ears. Do vampires have superhuman hearing? Well, they got superhuman everything, ain't they, really?
Oh, yeah.
Strength, speed, eyesight. I know you have a lot of questions. Brandon, for example. Brandon? You won't have to worry about him anymore. Oh my god, how does he know? Did you kill him? Now this is a little bit like Let the Right One In, isn't it? With the vampire. I haven't never seen it, but I know a bit about the story about the little girl. Like, he's a vampire. She befriends that little boy, and I think she kills his bullies or something by befriending a vampire. Again, it's kind of the same thing as Fright Night and all that lot. If you know, you can actually possibly befriend them. He didn't answer the question. What do you think I am? Let's just say he's not going to be able to hurt anyone anymore. Listen carefully. Are we going to play from the vampire's point of view? And we're probably going to run into Brandon, I reckon. And we could fuck him up big time. Thing is, Brandon hasn't really done anything to piss me off. Where like Ace in Stand By Me is an absolute douche. So Brandon isn't. Yeah, Ace is nuts. He's gonna shoot like the characters at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, in I haven't seen Brandon do anything like to warrant any kind of ill will. You know, you saved me, and now I owe you. What about the drive-in theater? The question takes you by surprise. What, does he have like a piece of gold or something? He'll have like really old currency, wouldn't he?
Well, he's probably been alive for
hundreds and hundreds of years. Yeah, he's probably got a fortune there. Is the vampire also able to read minds? Or is it there a simple explanation? We like horror movies. Who doesn't? I always find it weird when someone says, I don't like horror movies because they scare me or they play on my mind. I'm like, but it's just a movie, you know what I mean? You know it's not real, right? You don't go to bed going, oh my god, there's like a clown under my bed. Do you find that weird when people outright do not watch horror?
I didn't get it. You didn't get like just terrified.
Like, come on, I was watching it when I was like fucking 5 years old, for fuck's sake. Why is he even willing... why is he even telling him stuff? Give me a minute. I do like the portrait of the vampire. It's like very traditional, but it's kind of sinister looking. He looks quite rough, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, this version of the vampire. I have something to show you. He don't look like the old romantic vampire, does he? He does.
Looks very kind of like evil.
Yeah. Something to show us. How many of the dozens of horror movies you've seen include a line just like that one? You wait for the door to close. And you don't have anything, and you don't have to say anything. So you booted us out.
I'm guessing so. We're like the fucking things disappear.
You try to hold back your laughter. And you breathe through your nose. Why did we run? Doug tried to catch his breath. What do you mean, why? That old guy's a freak.
You wouldn't trust him, would you?
No, not particularly. Would you trust anything that could end your life in a second?
No.
It's like when people have like fucking exotic animals like tigers as pets, or they go in a bear cage and like they go, yeah, he's my friend. It's like it takes a nanosecond for this fucking animal to just go, this guy's pissing me off, and they kill you. And they don't contemplate like the aftermath, do they?
No.
It'd be crazy to be one of these people, and we don't want to die in his haunted house. You look at Jimmy and smile. Jimmy smiles back. It's just a second. And when you realize, look down and pull your arm away. Oh, what, she got feelings for him? Is that what's going on here? I like when games do like a little bit of romance there. I like all that stuff. Oh, not fucking Lou again. Lou Refill Hill. You listen to them talking and think about the best way to arrange the material for the book. Even though we met a vampire, nothing really interesting has happened with the vampire yet, apart from there's a vampire. You know, we haven't seen anything cool, have we?
No.
On the one hand, you have activities they did during the day. All the things that strengthened them as a group and made the story more human. It reminds me of It as well, where you got like the kind of the kids and it's like coming of age a little bit, you know, they're at that time in their life, and then they come back as adults and they kind of relive the memories a little bit, you know, to kind of fill in the gaps and you know, possibly finish it off, you know, kill the clown. So it has a little bit of that vibe to it, this story, and a bit of Stand By Me as well, a bit of Stephen Kingish in general. All the things that strengthened them as a group and made the story more human. On the other hand, the first night at the vampires, a dinner that didn't turn out as Vampire had probably expected. What was he expecting? Just like the vampire to eat him or something? Or you adjust your glasses, a habit almost as old as you. Why are you asking yourself all these questions? At what point had you lost confidence in your writing process? You like to write as you used to, one chapter after the other, without worrying too much about the structure. Books are nothing more than an act of accumulations. You said in one of your prefaces you'd been commissioned to write at some point. Now nobody commissions anything from you. You've had a hard time finding a publisher for the new book. And to think 10 years ago, any non-fiction publisher in the country would have been paid astronomical amounts to have you among their authors. Phew. Finally, a good sign. The story of these 3 kids had made you lose track of time. Would the same thing happen to you, your future readers? Well, lose track of time. You have to excuse me. I have to make a phone call. I don't think I'll take more than 10 minutes. There's a phone across the street. Thing is, what are we actually getting from this? Is Lou paying us money for this story or what?
Oh.
Or is it something that we've got this like a thing that needs to be lifted, you know, or like a burden? Maybe we're carrying some sort of like guilt.
Yeah, we have to get off our chest.
Yeah, if we tell the story of what happened to who else, you know, possibly. Jimmy and Christine nod. Before you leave, you reach into your pockets. Oh shit.
We asked Jimmy or Christine.
Right. Well, we can't ask the woman, can we? It's a bit.
So we're going to ask Jimmy.
Go ask Jimmy, aren't we? Jimmy raises his head and looks at you. As awkward silence ensues, I have nothing on me. Maybe next time. Oh, fucking hell, we can't make that call then. Was that done, are we? It takes you a second to realise. To understand the sarcasm in his words. Jimmy lives on the streets, surviving on whatever people give him. Oh, fucking hell, Jimmy's homeless? I didn't know Jimmy was homeless. We're asking a homeless man for money. Fucking hell. Insult.
Jimmy did for
God, Jimmy got fucked. Hard times indeed. You start to apologise, but Jimmy shakes his head. Uncomfortable and not knowing what to say next, you appreciate that Christine starts going through her purse. It's never too late to get back together, but now he's like a fucking hobo. I can't see her. Like I said, we talked about you need the 3 6s. There's no way this guy's on a 6-figure income, is he?
No.
You might be good in the other departments, but man, let's see. I always have some spare change. In case something happens with my son. Oh no, that hurts our heart. Are we going to hold her like chest now? She's got another man. It's only a second, but you notice the expression on Christine's face the moment she mentioned her son. It doesn't take a professional to notice the tension that still exists between these two. Oh, it hurts his feelings. I knew it would. Thank you, Christine.
Yeah, he's...
It could have been him. I'll be back in 5 minutes. If he would have just said to her, like those 3 magic words.
Yeah.
10 at the most. Welcome back, Oddie. You know they won't miss you too much. Jimmy and Christine have a lot to talk about. It's raining outside, and you think about the concept of that looks like the goat man.
Do you think this is
That's
the other kitty?
But it's got a goat face.
Do you think that's the other kitty? Maybe he's like he's a vampire.
I thought that, but it looks he's got goat eyes. He's got them slits. That's that fucking goat baby thing from the end of the first game.
Grew up, yeah.
Look at it. You telling me that looks like human to you?
No, it doesn't.
Was nature mourning the commercial success that your last book didn't achieve? People that's not watched your first game go, what the fuck are you on about? A goat person? You know, they wouldn't have a clue what I'm talking about. Yeah. As much as I like Mothman, there was a lot of loose ends in that game. Yeah. It was throwing a load of shit at the wall. Some of it stuck, but some of it was like, what the fuck? Are you going to actually fill this out or what? Yeah, it's a goat. Look at his fucking eyes, unless he's wearing some crazy mask or something. The funny thing is that you don't really care about money. Or rather, you're not interested in it at the end as end in itself. You just see it as a tool that allows you to continue your research and do damage control. You made some decisions in your career that you regretted, but you always try to make up for it. Your heart almost came out of your mouth. Is that Xantos or Cantos? I guess Xantos? Yes, you Xantos. Motherfucker. You hang up the phone and the coin is returned. I'm sorry. What is wrong with this bloke's face? Did I scare you? It's fucking hideous. You let the air out of your mouth. Look how nice these pixels.
It's very well done.
Yeah, we really like this old school pixel art, the dithering and all that shit. You let the air out of your mouth. Although you've seen many things over the years, terrible things, unimaginable for some, which that is true. Yep. You can't deny that Xantos has indeed frightened you. Fucking hell, that's an understatement. What happened? Did you leave the diner? Sorry. Xantos seems nervous. And he doesn't need to tell you anything for you to know what's wrong with him. Go. By 10 minutes tops. You go back to the booth and dial Lee's number. Minigame Inc. Lee is Xantos' adoptive father. Who the fuck's Lee?
Yeah, that's the main character from the other game, wasn't it?
Lee?
Veronica, remember?
Yeah.
So that is like the fucking
Lee. It sounds, yeah, so it is the goat child. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm trying to warm my brain. So this is the goat baby from the first game, which you have to watch in order to know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, because Little Hill is obviously
oh, look, we became friends with Lee as well. And a friend. Oh, that's cool. I like how they're intertwined. That's quite nice.
Yeah.
You feel responsible for everything that had happened to him. After all, Lee was one of the main characters in your book about the Mothman and 1966 meteor shower.
There we go.
Drinks the title. Well, the last other game. The phone rings.
Yeah, let's think about the night back
yeah.
in the 1960s.
Since that fateful night in late November 1966, Lee could feel the effects of every possible present at once. It's hard for you to imagine something like that. Do you feel each and every possible present as if they had happened? What impact would this have on a person? It was not a superpower, that much is clear. It was a curse. Lee's relationship with Victoria, whom he had married 3 months before their daughter was born, had deteriorated in recent years. Oh no! Feeling all those presents where Victoria had lied to him, insulted him, cheated on him, belittled him, or worse, had been too much for Lee. She cheated on Lee.
She wasn't even interested in him anyway.
Do you know what? It's good writing, because when you play the Mothman, Lee, herself, when you play as her role, what's her name again? Veronica. She's unsure about the relationship anyway, and she's like questioning it like right there and then, and you know right away they're not really like, well, she's not that compatible with him. She doesn't really, but she did end up with him, maybe through just circumstance of like living, being in that nightmare together. Because that's good character building. I like that. It's kind of interesting. And that was why he moved to the other end of the country and had only you and his number. Lee, he's back. Nice. Lou, how many presents will there be where it's not you on the other end of the phone but someone else? Could these presents be quantified? Was that enumerated for analysis? I've never heard these words before. Have you ever heard that word before? I haven't. You shake your head trying to concentrate on the conversation and to stop thinking about all the possible ramifications that every act, no matter how small, may have. Did you think I'd forgotten? Lee laughs. I starts telling you about the last stories he read. Lee is a fan of crime fiction. Who isn't? I'll tell you, I've been watching some of those crazy videos on YouTube lately. I don't want to go into strings, I'll probably get banned, but yeah, some of them are so twisted.
Oh yeah.
You had given him several dozen issues of Ellery Queen Mystery Magazine. And you call him religiously for him to tell you what happened in the stories he liked the most. Lee needs to talk. He needs to be in contact with another human being. Oh, Lee! Lee was done dirty. It was the least you could do after ruining his life. What about my son? What, the goat? Is he learning anything? You notice his voice breaks when he mentions Xantos. It's fucking weird, this game. We have a goat son. Just trying to think about what we're talking about here. We found him in the road like Silent Hill when like fucking Lisa gets reborn and we pick up a baby on the side of the road. And Lee adopted it, raised it. Then his missus was cheating on him with like somebody else. Yeah, probably. I guess like having a goat baby is kind of a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit stressful.
Yeah, definitely stressful. You tell him that he's helping you observe the people you're interviewing. As if he has been summoned. You see Xantos walking across the street. You cover the phone with your hand and call him. You say Jimmy's name and make a gesture for Xantos to watch him. Xantos nods and you go back talking to Lee. I don't want to take anything for granted this time. Lee doesn't respond. But you think you know what he's thinking? Lou? Thank you. Before you can say anything, he hangs up. You hold your head and take a deep breath. You had screwed up and he thanks you. You think about the new book. The biography of a very special vampire. So yeah, it's Interview the Vampire in a way. Yeah. But we're not actually interviewing a vampire, we're interviewing the person that was with a vampire. Will they be okay when they find out? When they know the whole truth? Christine has a family, but Jimmy, you know how much he's suffered? It's impossible to foresee how he might react. But isn't there a possible present for any outcome? No. No. The end is always one and only one. And you have to learn to live with that. I think we need to go back to the vampire. Feels like we're losing. We've sidetracked off a bit far there.
Yeah, they've got really back into the future. Well,
Back to Jimmy. You think you exist, and therefore you do. This is nice, isn't it? But you'd rather not think, and exist without knowing it. So, what are we doing today?
Let's go fishing. Hang on, fishing.
Right, we go fishing. How many fish does an old geezer want? Christine glares at Doug. You know that the Martin is like a father to Christine. Christine? 9. You let out a whistle. And if we bring him 9 fish, he is going to tell us where to catch the albino tarpon. Christine nods. But how are you going to catch so many fish? Last time it was a disaster. Doug's right. But what he doesn't take into account is that Martin gave Christine some advice. Oh, mini game. So playing a Japanese RPG. Perceive something with a different sense. That's one stimulated. Alright, Josh, this is for you to play. This is a game, so I'm not going to commentate. I'm just going to, well, I'll talk shit. I'm not going to read all this out.
For a specific colour.
Remember and me don't go hand in hand. Got to tire these fish out, Josh.
I'll play Breath of Fire 3 and 4 if I can.
Yeah, we've played Breath of Fire 3 or 4, Ocarina of Time, and bass fishing on PS1.
That's right, yeah.
Is there fishing in Suikoden as well? There's fishing in like so many fucking JRPGs. Oh, that's easy. Oh, you got to match the greens with reds. So you got to put. You lost it. Yeah. So I guess you put down a colour and you got to match that with that colour. So green would go green. Done. There you got go. Yeah, red goes red. Red again. Okay, I don't understand it. Come on.
Oh, right, cool.
A catfish. That's not what we're looking for. Just look at the moustache. Burt Reynolds.
Right. I don't think this is mandatory, is it?
I think it's a bit of character building. Oh yeah, we don't need to.
Right, we'll have one more go.
I guess you probably could if you get all the fish. I'm sure you'll be able to.
Okay, right. If they're getting bored, right.
I reckon that we're going to be doing this throughout the game, and all of a sudden we're going to catch the albino fish.
Yeah.
Oh, Creatures from the Black Lagoon, 1950 something. I have seen it actually. You have to see it. That's a cool shot when that guy is swimming backwards underwater. The guy in the fish suit.
Yeah.
He's like mirroring her way of swimming. It's really cool. It's hard to compete with Christine. House of Wax, Invaders from Mars, The Thing from Out. The Thing from Outer World, I'm not a big fan of. Some people say, oh, it's a masterpiece. It's better than Carpenter's version. Absolutely not. It doesn't matter what horror movie it is. The Blob, maybe. She's watched them all. That's not fair. Your boyfriend works at the movie theater. Oh, don't say that. My chest. My heart. There he is again. Christine's boyfriend. Is it really necessary to mention him so much? You take a deep breath and you look at the sky. The shape of the truck's hood fits perfectly against your back. Does it? That bet fucking hurts like fuck. And you force yourself to smile. Toad season, Doug. Doug raises his eyebrows and starts making noises with his mouth. I want to smash Doug in the face. You can't contain your laughter. You're disgusting. Doug laughs too. With a hoarse laughter, almost as if he were choking. You remember that afternoon of the last summer very well. Doug had gotten a vinyl record he was obsessed with. You would seldom see him like that. And how he is insisted that you'd listen to it. You record what part of the collection documenting the sounds of the world. Everything from the distant cultures to whatever that is. Doug was particularly interested in the collection, but this record, it was special. It included recordings of toads singing in the middle of mating season. Okay, could you please stop? Christine's anger only makes your laughter hard. Doug finally stops intimidating the toads. The laughter gradually fades away and ends up turning into a sustained sigh. You look at your friend and think about what he confessed to you that afternoon. It was sad, but neither of you had an older siblings or a father figure to lean on. That vinyl record, vinyl record, is it? With its songs of toads during the mating season, was the closest thing Doug had to a Playboy. What's that? On that branch, you see a bat. Is it Dracula? Where? Oh god, it is him. The bat soars into the air with a loud screech. Come here. We know it's you. Oh, that's amazing. I like that. That's cool. There he is, materializing right in front of our eyes. How long have you been there? You're not following us, are you? I told you. I am indebted to you. See? He's a freak. Wait a minute. Brandon stopped bothering us, right? So, are we good? The vampire nods. You can't deny that his presence at the drive-in bothers you a little. The drive-in is something for the three of you. The only child's club. The only child's club? Oh, you can actually read this. Never mind. The question takes you by surprise. Wasn't that what Christine's had said? That the vampire could read your mind? I'm an only child too. Or at least that's what I thought. That's a really cool picture.
Yep.
I like that. There's something in his eyes that forces you to pay attention. A sadness that you can relate to. And considering Doug and Christine's silence, you could swear they're feeling something similar. Yeah, I think that's a better question. How does someone turn into a vampire? He puts his hand on his jugular and remains silent. Is he really an only child? The vampire tells you that he believed so for the most of his life. Raised by a strong mother and an older gentleman. But after the conversion, he had discovered that he was born on the other side of the Atlantic. And that he had a twin brother. However, his original family had given him to a couple who couldn't have children. And who were about to emigrate to the United States. Isn't that tragic? Two brothers separated at birth and turned into two only childs. The vampire says that his real name is not important, but that you can call him Lists. Fuck me, how do you pronounce that? The vampire just told you to call him Lists. Or List. That's a weird fucking name, I can't lie. After listening to him, you can't deny he had suffered just as much as you three. What will the others say? Will they give List a chance to prove himself as a true member of the club?
Been part of the club. Oh, here we go.
Mm.
1981.
Come on, Santos. Big up. Lou calls it goat Tourette's. You know he doesn't mean it in a bad way. As well as you being your godfather, Lou is a writer. And sometimes writers use words like shortcuts. Your mum didn't like it when Lou said goat Tourette's. You had to read about Tourette's, and you understood the comparison. Judges called attention in music group that the individual with Tourette's relieves with motor tics the premonitory urge. Your case is different. The urgency is not focused on a specific muscle group, but rather in your whole. But yeah, we're a fucking goat. That's the difference. With every kick, every jump, and every blow, you feel alive. As if all of a sudden, the veil were pulled back. Goat Tourette's is what allows you to bear being and able to show yourself in the world as you really are. As you were when your parents and your godfather found you that night in 1966. I didn't expect to play as this goat guy, to be honest.
No.
Goat Tourette's is the way you found to forgive yourself, at least for a little while. What the we got goat Tourette's. It's because we're a goat and we got these tendencies to kind of just have these spur things going on. It's not the first time this has happened to you. A ruthless deconstruction of one's automated actions. How does one lift a foot? How does jumping work? And crouching. What are the steps to take when crouching? Goat Tourette's is the way you found. Okay. This is weird. We're having full on tics and like. Is it because we're not being fast enough?
No, I'm going too fast.
What? Too fast. You gotta let the whole thing go green. Boom. I never expected to play as like a goat man with Tourette's. I never expected that with this game. I can't lie. It's a little bit out there. The spasmodic movements release the accumulated tension. And for a moment you feel the veil being lifted. It's Xantos, son of Victoria and Lee, godson of Lou. And I am a goat man. You breathe a sigh of relief. But you know the sensation won't last long and you still have things to do. What's funny, I saw a forum, someone said, should I play the first game to understand the second one? And most people were like, no, but how the fuck do you explain this character? Yeah, imagine playing this game going, why the fuck am I a goat man with Tourette's?
You said no. I mean, come on.
You wonder if Lou made the right choice in selecting you for the job. This is wild. Xantos, private detective. He's a private detective? You hope that one day you have your own sign on the door of an office downtown. You ain't how is he going to blend into the background? But that's still a long way off. You nod to Lou and walk back into the Nyack Cafe. Nyack Cafe? You're just starting. And for now, your tasks are pretty simple. Lou asks you to watch Jimmy and Christine during the interview, and to follow Jimmy after the meeting. Your godfather had told you that after telling them the truth, anything could happen. and that you had to be very careful with the consequences of their actions. And you, wasn't that what you were? A consequence of their actions? The thing is, we don't really know why he was born as a goat on the side of the road, though, do we?
No.
That was never answered. Should we actually put a save down here? I wonder if it's got autosave.
It has to. Can
Yeah.
you even see the skin?
I think you can.
Oh, okay. Hang on. There's some little bolts here.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. We'll put a save down.
guessing so.
Okay. Okay. Make sure the volume's okay. I think it's alright. The raindrops pound the roof, and you have to speak loudly to be able to hear each other. It's really coming down out there. Why does he feel the need to talk all the time? When you have nothing to say, you just stay quiet. It's really coming down out there. And why describe what everyone can already see? How much longer will it rain? Is it worth waiting to see if it stops? Do you have any matches, Doug? Doug shrugs. I had to give them all to my mum. Or mom in America. My mom. If you'd shown a little more interest when I wanted to show you the puzzles. Oh, your fucking puzzles suck. Maybe I would have to kept them. You stretch a bit. Do we go back then? Both of them nod. Jimmy seems like he's going to say something else, but ultimately changes his mind. Another of his astute observations. I like all this kind of cinema stuff.
Yeah.
They're just like hanging out with like a fucking vampire.
Well, let's see who's a nice one.
Your legs dangle from the platform. A gentle breeze caresses your arms. And you sigh. You wonder what you'll remember of all this 10 years from now. And in 20. And in 25. Let me think a little. He's playing chess with a vampire. You look at your cousin. Since the night you started hanging out with the vampire at the drive-in, the dynamics of the only child's club had changed. Doug spends most of his time with lists. And now that you have more space for just the two of you, go on, get in there. Jimmy seems to have closed in on himself. No, Jimmy. Who's Maggie?
Who's our mum?
Talk about her. Oh, my heart. We talk about her boyfriend. My heart hurts.
They do want to upset Jimmy.
Yeah, but we get to the bottom of it. She might go, he's not my boyfriend anymore. My boyfriend got me Rico Browning autograph. Okay. Interesting. An autograph from the guy who played the creator from the Black Lagoon. Oh my god, the boyfriend's just winning at the moment. He's winning. He's not going to say anything. Can he at least be glad for you? Well, you were asking for it. Do you think that list said about the game is true? I'm sorry, what? Jimmy raises his shoulders. He looks like he wanted to say something but regrets it. I don't know if it's true, but I think it makes sense. I always wonder about the origins of a certain board game. Do you think they're an advanced society experiment to study us? It seems more credible than the idea of a random person could have designed something like chess. Did you talk to Maggie? Huh? If you talk to Maggie... Jimmy looks at you for a few seconds and finally looks down. She called by to give my mum something. That's it. His "that's it" annoys you. As if Jimmy thinks he owes you an explanation. I like my cousin's games, but I don't know. I always feel there's something missing. You regret what you said as soon as the words leave your mouth. Out of everything you could have said about Doug, why'd you use that? What do you mean, like something missing? Something like what? Give an example. the 10 solitaire, for example. The solitaire. There's a trick to make a super 10 with 0 effort. Jimmy opens his eyes wide. The first thing you need to do is add up the cards of each colour on the board. Let's suppose that black cards add up to 31 and red cards add up to 38. Take 38 from 31 from 38, you've got 7. 7 in favour of red. Oh,
You have to even read this.
I don't give a fuck about solitaire.
Yeah, we didn't really care about the.
I didn't give a shit about this. Why did you tell Jimmy about the trick? Shouldn't you have talked to Doug first? I missed what that meant, but I don't really care. Giving him a chance to improve the solitaire. You don't want to admit it, but finding mistakes in your cousin's creations give you a certain confidence. It's not just satisfaction of finding someone else's mistakes. It's something else. Something you don't want to think about too much. Fuck! Mate in 4. Forced. They finally finished the game. You didn't know how much more you could take. You stand up and smooth out your pants. Doug starts picking up the pieces. One more? No, that's enough for today. Why don't you tell us one of your stories? Yeah, I mean, he's ancient. You should have fucking fascinating stories.
Yeah.
I like that picture. That's cool. Liz nods and you get ready to listen. Which story would you like to hear? Godfrey the Glue Maker, Gilbert the Lumberjack, or Milo the Thief?
No, I know everything but Gilbert the Lumberjack.
Gilbert the Lumberjack. Is it going to be Gilbert?
I think that's good, Gilbert.
I'll tell you a story of Gilbert the Lumberjack. Gilbert wielded the axe as a few others could. He lived a nomadic life, dedicated exclusively to work. Carpenters and builders adored him. One day while chopping at a very thick oak tree, Gilbert heard a groan. He pressed his ear to the trunk. Could the tree be complaining? He removed the axe from the trunk and swung it again. There was no doubt there was the groan again. Did someone put another guy inside it's like that of Tales from the Crypt episode?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? Who was that? Because Tales from the Crypt had all these celebrities in it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Who was in that tree? It was a woman, like an actress. Yeah, she was hot as well, from what I remember. And I think that was the episode where she was cheating on her husband or something, and someone put her in the fucking tree. Confused, he dropped the axe and paused to think for a few minutes. Gilbert didn't particularly like his job, but it was the only thing he knew how to do. He had estimated that if he kept doing it for the 5 more years, he could retire and live one of the small towns he passed by. Determined to follow through with his plans, he picked up the axe and ignored the groans of the oak tree. Oh my god, this looks absolutely demonic. What a beast. But from that day, Gilbert began to hear the sobs of all the trees he felled. Oaks, pines, firs, beeches, they all suffered under the lumberjack's axe. Although it wasn't easy for him, Gilbert learned to ignore the whining. It was the only way he could keep working. 5 years later, Gilbert retired. He settled in a small village. Soon after, met Estrid, whom he married. Estrid was slender and frail looking. Gilbert loved her deeply. Look at that, I like that, how he's able to kind of manipulate his own shadow. It's like the 1922 Nosferatu, you know, when he's going upstairs. Before long, the young woman contracted an illness that left her bedridden. She lay on her bed all day long, and Gilbert bought her tea and sang to her. But what a gentleman. Estrid grew weaker every day until one afternoon an attack of withering pain foretold her end. The woman kept writhing, crying and moaning loudly. Meanwhile, Gilbert was in the courtyard of the house. And although he could hear, he kept carving without even blinking, the figures of two lovers melting in a kiss on a spring of oak. You try to imagine Estrid's last hours, and you feel sick. Oh, so every time he was cutting the tree, it was mirroring into his wife? Oh, what was the last line? I fucking didn't even read it.
I think that was the story. So.
Well, that was a bit shit, I gotta be honest. I thought there was going to be a bit more of a punch to it than that.
Right.
What does say no mean? Does it say no? I don't know.
You did one of the stories?
All right, okay. Well, Godfrey the Glue Maker. This is the story, or this is better be better. List. Your first story was shit. This better be better. Story of Godfrey the Glue Maker. Godfrey was a glue maker. He made glue from horse bones and hoofs. He wasn't the best animal glue in the region, but he'd been very lucky. He sold the glue to a famous bookbinder in town. However, whilst he had built a very lucrative business, Godfrey had not been able to find love. Don't worry, there's other people out there like Odyssey that's going through the same kind of thing. He was a romantic, a true believer in the concept of the other half. Shots fired! One afternoon, crouched over the dead body of a young foal he bought from the widow, he had an idea. After shaking the dirt off, the animals had fallen off a cliff and crushed its owner. He cut off the horse's tail with a big pair of scissors, stood up and approached a mirror. He raised the horse's tail behind his head and he liked what he saw. It was a new Godfrey, younger, healthier, even with long, silky hair. So he just glued on a horse's tail to his head. Just have a massive comb over. It didn't take much to make up his mind. Didn't he make animals glue for a living? A few weeks later, and with renewed confidence, Godfrey met the beautiful Isolde, a young woman who ended up being his wife and whom he loved fervently. One day, while Godfrey was in his workshop working on hanging carcass, Isolde approached him from behind. She was smiling from ear to ear as she had a great news to give her husband. But the moment she touched his back, something strange happened. Godfrey's shoulder dislocated with a wet crack, and both arms suddenly shot back as if powered by strong pistons, like a horse kick, and landed on her chest. Godfrey turned around and saw Isolde on the floor, her eyes wide open. He ran to her, to his horror, found that she was dead. He burst into tears, his face resting on Isolde's chest. Godfrey cried for a long time, unable to move, and his tears moistened the ends of the horse's tail he had glued to his head almost a year ago. Wow. You look at Doug. Doug looked at you and nods. That story was rubbish. So he glued like a horse's tail to his head, and then she slapped his back or his ass and involuntarily did a horse kick to the chest and killed her. He became a little bit, terrible stories. Milo the thief. I'm not impressed with these stories. Milo was on the run. He had robbed a shopkeeper and was chased to the entrance of the forest. The chase didn't stop there, and an hour when the sun finally set, Milo was sure he wouldn't be caught. Without letting up his pace and always stretching his arms forward to avoid hitting a tree, Milo continued on into the darkness of the forest. After the walking for a while, the thief ran into a jagged wall, and almost at the same time he heard a growl closer than he would have liked. Surely he couldn't have managed to escape from the soldiers, only to end up being eaten by a bear. With his hands resting on the wall, he looked for a foothold so he could climb up. He was shaken, but the effort was worth it. The thief found the entrance to a small cave through which the animal would not fit. He crawled through the darkness and, too exhausted to do anything else, he fell asleep. Milo woke with the first light of morning. Because I wouldn't really want to be his friend when he was pulling faces like that, telling me a story, would you? He looked inside and noticed that the cave was deeper than he had thought the night before. He squatted down, moved forward until he reached a gallery where he could finally stretch out. He couldn't believe his luck. It was the perfect hiding spot. Not just the bear, but from the town authorities. He looked around and noticed a group of mushrooms that had grown on a kind of mound. He approached and plucked one. His belly was rumbling. Without thinking too much, he took a bite. Don't even, because isn't it something like 95% of fungi are unrecognizable or not been documented or something crazy like that? Fungi and mushrooms there are so many species that we don't know. He was surprised by his own recklessness, but it tasted so good. He took a second bite and his legs went slack. He felt the ground withering in pain. Well, it's his own fault. He tried to crawl to the exit to call for help, but only managed to let out a weak whimper. At first he felt his body burning, but then he lost all sensation. He was completely paralyzed by toxins. Unable to even express horror on his face, Milo watched as the mound of earth seemed to move. Oh, the bear's going to eat him alive and he can't do nothing about it. It was not dirt, but a strange creature with colourful mushrooms growing on its back. The creature advanced a few feet towards Milo and began to writhe, giving birth to a dozen translucent, skin-shapeless offspring that began to crawl, opening and closing their mouths. And Milo was unable to close his eyes to move his head to the other side. Watch the hideous creature slowly swell as they ate him alive. So yeah, it's very Tales from the Crypt, but like, the thing with Tales from the Crypt, most of them had really like terrible plot twists.
Yeah.
And these are actually worse than the ones in Tales from the Crypt.
There's nothing there.
No, come on, this could have been better. We didn't quite know what to think. Was there a teaching to Milo's story? What, don't eat wild mushrooms? Thou shalt not steal. Curiosity killed the cat. Personally, you like the stories where the line between good and evil is a little fuzzier. One more? Oh, fuck no, these stories are shit. It's getting late, but I wouldn't tell him that, obviously. Doug asks for one more and looks at Jimmy. Christine is right. Doug starts croaking like a toad, and you pretend not to hear him. I love, like, his toad impression.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Back to Reverend Hill.
I don't want to play as Reverend Hill no more. I want to play as a vampire. Christine, Liz enjoyed telling those stories. There was something about the way he moved his hands, like an Italian. The way he projected his voice. And his shadow. It looked like, I don't know, like he could control the darkness around him. Christine shifts in her chair, but his most striking feature were his eyes. Yeah, there was something about the way he looked at you that took you to the very heart of his stories. Is it you? The couple looked at you in silence. They expect you to say something. When was the last time something like this happened? What? Are these the two old people from Mothman?
No idea.
I don't know who these are. The old couple smile, and something snaps inside you. You tell them you are not that person. You're not the author of Please, I'm busy. You hear the old man tut as they walk away. He's holding a copy of a book you obviously recognize. Risen by Falling Stars. With the subtle subtitle your editor added. And you never really liked the secret story of the Cryptids Wars. You even remember the text of the Dust Jacket. Risen by Falling Stars by Lou Hill, featuring exclusive first-person reports of the last battle of the Cryptid Wars in 1966. Risen by Falling Stars had sold more than 100,000 copies. Oh, we did pretty well then. Christine coughs and you apologize. The smiles of the old couple stick with you. Where were those smiles when you released your last book and you couldn't sell the minimum required by the publisher? Where were we?
Bit of a weird little like transition. Huh?
Yeah. Back to Jimmy. Varney Lake. You know that if you lived here, it wouldn't be the same. That all of this has value because it has an end. Christine takes out her notebook. Although you did lots of things, you couldn't achieve anything on the summer bucket list. But does it matter? You see your friends smile, and you can't help but copy them. You like to tell them how much you love them, but you feel embarrassed. Will you be brave tonight? Come on, Josh, we've got to be brave. The thing is, we know we fell because we're not together in adulthood.
No.
Oh, what's this? You don't understand.
Well, yeah.
Oh, this is them. This is.
Oh, it's the best piece of music ever. Is it Spanish?
Let's listen to it. Is this the same piece of music in the car? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I want to listen to it a bit before I start talking over it.
Yeah.
I love this piece of music. Yeah, there's a scene in the first game called Mothman or whatever, when you're in a car with your girlfriend and you're taking her to a special location and she's wondering if you're the right guy, but you obviously like her, and this music's playing and it's really cool.
Guessing so.
Why is it so hard to talk to her? But maybe it's not your fault. I want to put a lot of heart into this. Maybe you never really had the choice. No, it's not. It's like a party or something. Like every year, all the kids gather on the beach of the lake to watch the fireworks. The explosions of colour in the sky mark the end of summer. It's last opportunity. Even though you try to smile, you find it hard to hide the pit you've been feeling in your stomach for the last few days. I reckon you're growing apart, and you got to make a move, my boy. The simple realization that nothing lasts forever. How many more summers like this one will you have? Do you hear that? Neither of you says anything. Neither one of you ever says anything. It's the toads. Oh, not this horrible impression again. Christine grimaces and looks at you. Doug taps you on the shoulder. She just croak. Doug bursts into laughter. Yes, Jimmy, croak. I've just seen Maggie, so go on, croak like a horny toad. Oh, sure, you horny. What's wrong with Christine? She knows her cousin's in love with Maggie. Why would she say something like that? Doesn't she talk to you all the time about her boyfriend? Doug kicks a rock. Oh my god, he looks like a tank. You want to say something, but you see Brandon. He looks lost. You remember the summer parties of the past. How most kids avoid the place where Brandon and his gang hang out. That Brandon everyone was afraid of. What had Liz done to him to leave him like that? Look who we have here. The guys surround Brandon, and Brandon doesn't seem to understand what's about to happen. Bert, who Brandon was once pushed off a moving car. Tommy, from whom Brandon had stolen a slinky just to wrap it around his legs, leaving him with marks that, according to the doctor who treated him, were permanent. Cool. Steve, whom Brandon had lifted by the collar of his shirt with one hand and his underpants with the other, to use him as he were a battering ram to take down his friends, while the rest of the gang exploded with laughter. And your friends? Everyone had been talking about it. Without violence and abusive Brandon, the boys were no longer afraid of him. And none of the other members of the gang would dare come to the fireworks. But what about Brandon? Why had he come? Oh, that's actually really cool. Look at that. Everything happened too fast. And the moment he hits the ground, everyone starts kicking in. Stop, please. You'll see, motherfucker. Oh, they're laying it into Brandon. Oh no.
Fucking kill someone, eh?
Threw a firework at his head. Do you like that, son of a bitch? Do you like that, son of a bitch? Right, a fucking Brandon right up. Each explosion illuminates Brandon's terrified face from a different angle. The art is awesome. Look at that. Oh, he looks. Oh, he's like a little child. Look at that big baby cry. Should we call mommy? Oh, right. She'd rather stick her head in the oven than watch you grow up. Cool. When the smoke dissipates, Brandon takes a few steps back. No, to fall in the water. The guys point at him laughing. He pissed his pants. Oh no. Come on. Let's go get closer to the fireworks. He won't bother anyone anymore. Some spit on him before walking away. Others kick him. None of you move. Brandon looks at you. And you look down at the floor, not quite knowing what to feel. Fireworks mark the end of the summer. And the beginning of something that haunts you to this day. Why, Christine? Why didn't we do anything? Oh, what's going on now? We were young, we couldn't possibly imagine what was going to happen. We couldn't know, it's true. But we just watched, Christine. Doug, Christine. That vengeful son of a bitch, Brandon, killed him. Killed him. If we intervened that night at the beach, if we stopped them, no, it's not fair. There was nothing you could have done. Or at least nothing that could have changed your cousin's destiny. So he died, the other one.
Yeah,
Lou.
Yeah, Brandon killed Doug, apparently.
Wow. Lou clears his throat. And the noise brings you back to the present. There's no easy way to put it. So I'm just gonna say it. Doug, your cousin, your friend, who everyone thought was dead in the months following the summer of 1954. He's alive. Oh my god, revelation. What? Yeah, and I can prove it. But Brandon, your head starts spinning. Who did Brandon kill then? Just listen to me, it won't take long. The newspaper is from December 9, 1954. Your cousin had disappeared on December 1st. Everyone's newspaper tells more or less the same story. Watching from a window, an eyewitness saw a big boy savagely beating a smaller one. He went inside to call the police. And when he came back, both boys were gone. A few days later, the witness recognized Doug's face on the missing poster put up by the family. Cool, get I knocked his teeth out. Look at that. Fucking hell. It was the same boy the big guy had beaten ferociously. Cool. You're gonna make them stupid toad noises no more, is he? When the police showed him some pictures, he also recognized Brandon, the prime suspect in the investigation after everything that happened that summer at Varney Lake, and whom the police have been unable to question because he was missing. Everyone drew the same obvious conclusion. Brandon was behind Doug's disappearance. But the newspaper also mentioned a second witness in passing, Benjamin Vanstone, an addict who lived on the streets. The police took his testimony. However, his statements were dismissed on the assumption that it was some kind of hallucination. Oh, that's amazing. Vanstone had started that winged figure appeared above the big boy. So what made... Whoa! That is sick. That is amazing. Wow, I just want to appreciate that art. Look at that. It reminds me of Fright Night. You know, like when Jerry Dandridge stalks Evil Ed, and he says he's the odd one out. You know, everyone picks on him and stuff. Yeah, he goes like, if you take my hand, you know, join me, and you'll never be bullied again, and I understand and stuff like that. It reminds me of that, like a bit of a protector. Yeah. But this guy's literally just gone and killed the bully by taking his head clean off. And with that one swipe, it had cut his head off. That is crazy. The smaller boy was dying. The figure held him in their arms. Oh, he's going to bite him. And stuck his fangs into his neck. Oh, that is awesome. I like that twist. At the point Vanstone got scared, hid in an alley, didn't come out for a few hours. Doug is a vampire. A few days later, he showed up to testify. He couldn't stand the nightmares anymore. Nobody believed him. You understand what this means, right? Lou nods. No, it can't be. Jimmy speaks softly with a broken voice. You look at him with an overwhelming desire to hug him. And you? What do you feel? Is he going to be the same age then? Is he going to be one of them vampires that never ages?
Or he's still be just like in his early 20s. Well,
he's going to be like, yeah, your cousin Doug, he's alive. And what about Brandon? Well, his fucking head's like off. No. What had Liz done with Brandon's body? Probably threw him in the lake. Didn't his family deserve to know what happened to him? Doesn't matter. If the story Lou told you, guys, was true, Brandon had to try to kill your cousin. Brandon. Never mind that he was your first kiss. Brandon was a son of a bitch. You take a deep breath. You mean years has... Oh, how many years has it been? No, Doug would have told us. Look. I took this picture a few weeks ago. Yeah, he's the same age. It's for the book I'm writing. Yeah, he's exactly the same. A biography about Doug. The vampire kid. It's Near Dark does that as well. Remember a little boy that's turned to a vampire? Yeah, he's like an old guy or a lot older than he thinks, but he wants to date his sister, but He's so much older. It's weird. Even though he's in a kid's body, it's weird. I can't believe it. The seconds pass. Raindrops clatter relentlessly on the sidewalk. With the perseverance of a ruminative thought. Why didn't Doug ever contact you in all these years? See, that's a good question. Where is he now, right? Lou, I told you he didn't know the current whereabouts of your friend. Just do a Salem's Lot and just come scratching at your window. That'd be cool. The floating vampire kid. And that he'd let you know as soon as he had more information. Now we have to wait. Listen, are you okay? Can I give you a ride somewhere? Yeah. Christine repeats the question. Hey! Christine tries to smile. Come here. I'll take you home. No thanks. Jimmy, stop playing hard to get. I need to walk. Jimmy? You make an effort to look her in the eyes. She's too attractive for him nowadays. Christine doesn't say anything else. You give her a kiss on the cheek. Well, what a hero. And you walk away in the rain. Oh my god, what an absolute beast. Doug is alive. Why didn't he ever call his mother? Does he know his family suffered? How you suffered? You still remember the day Christine called you to tell you about it? Christine was sure that they were going to find him. That Doug was fine. But you suspected the worst. Senior year of high school was one of the hardest. All you could think about were Doug's plans. It seemed unfair that someone had taken away his future. Far from diminishing, the pain grew as the years went by. Alcohol helped you sometimes. It made you forget. You never stopped visiting your friend's mother. Even though she didn't lose hope. She suddenly flew into fits of hysteria that tore you apart. You think about what Lou told you. About the witness who had seen the posters papering the whole town. As soon as you heard about the disappearance, you traveled to join the search. Doug lived in the same town as Brandon. How could you not see that something like this would happen? That Brandon would seek revenge. So much pain. The alcohol, the street fights, the army. Vietnam, the shooting, the smell of the jungle. The return to the country, the desire to leave everything. The nights sleeping on the streets, the fights in the shelter. And now a guy like Luke comes along and tells you that Doug is alive. Who the fuck does he think he is? You try to calm down. You know someone is following you. It's the same person who was watching you in the bar, hiding behind a newspaper. It's not the first time you've been followed since you come back from Vietnam. Well, he is a proper Vietnam vet as well. He's a bit of a legend. And you know exactly what you have to do to lose them. After a while you get out of the van and wander aimlessly. Or at least that's what you think you're doing. The rain follows your every move. You hurry your pace, driven by a force you can't define. A certain attraction. The deer, you suddenly think. What the fuck? This was something you and Doug used to talk about. In one of the magazines, Doug had read about a doctor who claimed there were people who had lived a hard time seeing what they were thinking. People who were thinking about an apple, and who couldn't see it in their head. You didn't see the apple, but you could swear for a second that you could see the deer exactly as it had been back in 1954. How? The drive-in theatre, like the deer in the mill. Something or someone brought you here. You're soaking wet and your legs hurt. How far have you walked already? You cross the grounds facing the huge screen among the poles of the drive-in's audio system. Some are crooked, some broken too, but others still have their speakers plugged in, and you even think you could hear static. There he is. Doug. Oh, there's a kid in the car, that's cool. Your friend who had died. Cool. That's amazing. He's there just enjoying movies. Let me have a quick drink. That's a really cool image. I like that. Now he's alive. If he would have just walked there once, you would have saw him. Doug? Doug takes a few seconds to answer. Who the fuck are you? Oh, he's watching Nosferatu 1922. You croak at the top of your lungs. Jimmy? You should have vampire teeth in the portrait at the top as well, really. Yeah. It's not Bugs Bunny teeth, you should have the fucking fangs. Jimmy? All these years. The art is really cool in some of these scenes. Why, Doug? Why the fuck didn't you tell us anything? Your heartbeat quickens with every step he takes. He doesn't look the same Doug. Jimmy? Why? You really think I didn't try? Your mom, your friends, me. Have you had any idea how much we suffered because of you? You'd like to tell him about your first year of desperate search, about the false hope whenever the phone rang, or the grades at school, or the jobs you got kicked out of Vietnam, of the alcohol, the streets, the hunger, but you don't even know where to start. A shriek freezes your blood. Oh fuck. Liz is still there, and you stop feeling the floor before your feet. Let go of me. No. Fucking hell. One of the broken speaker poles pierces your stomach. Oh fuck me. We're dying. Jimmy. It's my fault. They won't let me. God, Jimmy looks fucking haggard like shit. Look at him. He's dying, man. Jimmy's had a hard life. Doug. I wouldn't forgive myself for being late again. Liz actually love the portraits are amazing. Come here. Let me help you. The reflection of the driving screen makes Doug's fangs glow. It just takes a second. Oh no, we're gonna live eternally forever. Then you'll feel better. With the last of your strength, you grab Doug by the arm and you shake your head. Jimmy, please. Make him promise you. But listen to me. No. I'm tired. Doug looks away, but he doesn't retract his fangs. You try to smile and try to imitate a toad. Little by little, you feel yourself disappearing. You close your eyes. Oh no, are we getting turned? And you wait for everything else to fade away. I like he went from like thinking he was dead to like 2 minutes, yeah. Finding him, then dying. It's like fucking hell. They wrapped that right up. Oh.
That was.
Is that it? I thought did we get to play as a vampire?
No.
Someone said you could play as a vampire, or the vampire story is good. Oh.
That just felt very kind of.
That's a bit abrupt. Is there no other ending here? Someone said you can actually play as the vampire's backstory. I was like, or some of the vampire, which is meant to be like a really cool part of the game. Well, that was it.
That was.
Damn it.
It just felt very rushed in the end. Yeah, anti-classic. I mean, that had a nice build-up, but it kind of just didn't really. It just wrapped up.
Yeah, because I read some comments about this game, and someone said the bits where you play as a vampire.
Right.
Oh, it's still going. John Carpenter's Christine. Oh wow, we're vampires together. Okay, got a little bit of extra there. Just don't open your mouth, innit? And wear some shades. I felt cheated. I wanted to play as Lutz.
I like the build-up, but like it just the ending just wraps up so suddenly. It was just done.
Yeah, I mean, in 2 minutes we found Doug is still alive.
Then we get like
we get we get put on death's door, and then we get bitten, and then we're living as a vampire with our old friend. But what about Christine?
Yeah, but she just went away. What about Santos? He was like following him, then he's gone.
Santos, yeah. Maybe there's different endings in this game that like fleshes it out, so I can't speak for that. But for our particular playthrough, it's definitely anticlimactic. It never ended the best. But overall I liked it, but maybe I'm gonna have to do a little research, see if there's other things I can do or to flesh this game out, because I don't think many people is gonna want to play through the game again, because there's not really much gameplay in terms of is there in this game.
So you got like do the cloud mini game and the fishing mini game, and maybe get the best.
Oh shit, that might have been because we didn't do the fishing game properly, and we didn't do the solitaire. Maybe we didn't earn the ending. Yeah, well, overall I liked it. I didn't like it as much as Mothman because